Why are Japanese people known for their amazing discipline and focus? Have you ever watched a Japanese worker, artist, or student and thought, how can they stay so calm, so patient, and so dedicated? Around the world, people admire Japan for its strong work ethic, attention to detail, and deep respect for self-improvement. From the quiet tea ceremonies to the perfect timing of a train, everything seems to show one thing: discipline. But let's be honest, many of us struggle with discipline. We want to wake up early, study every day, and stay focused. Yet somehow, we fall back into old habits. We get lazy, distracted, or bored. We promise to study English for 1 hour, but then we scroll on our phones. We say we will exercise, but then we watch another video instead. We feel bad later and ask ourselves, why can't I stay consistent? This is a common human problem. It's not about being weak or lazy. It's about not understanding how discipline truly works. Many people believe discipline means being strict, forcing yourself to work hard, or living without fun. But in Japan, discipline means something different. It is not about punishment. It is about balance, peace, and steady progress. In Japanese culture, discipline is seen as a path to harmony with yourself and the world around you. It's about doing small things carefully and doing them well. It's about showing respect for time, for effort, and for growth. It's about learning from yesterday, improving today, and believing in tomorrow. That's why people in Japan can stay focused even when things are hard. Now imagine if you could bring that same spirit into your own life. What if you could wake up with energy, study English with focus, and feel proud of your daily progress? What if you didn't have to force yourself anymore, because discipline became a natural part of who you are? In this video, we will explore 7 powerful Japanese rules of discipline. These are not just ideas. They are real habits that Japanese people have followed for centuries. Each rule teaches a lesson about how to live with focus, patience, and purpose. You will see that these lessons are not only for Japanese people, they are for everyone. Whether you live in Asia, Europe, Africa, or anywhere in the world, you can use these same rules to build your own strong and peaceful life. As you listen, I want you to think about your own daily routine. Where do you struggle the most? Maybe you find it hard to study English every day. Maybe you give up too quickly when things get difficult. Maybe you often feel tired or unmotivated. Don't worry, that's okay. Everyone starts there. But after learning these Japanese rules, you will see a new way forward. You will understand that discipline is not about being perfect. It's about doing your best, one small step at a time. We will start with the first rule, called Kaizen, which means small, continuous improvement. It will show you how big change comes from small daily actions. Then we will move to other important principles like patience, order, pride, purpose, and reflection. Together, these rules will help you create habits that last, not just for a week, but for life. By the end of this journey, you will not only learn how to be more disciplined, but also how to enjoy the process. You will learn how to bring peace into your daily life, how to build confidence through small wins, and how to stay strong even when things get tough. So, take a deep breath. Open your mind. Let's learn how ancient Japanese wisdom can bring more focus, balance, and success into your modern life. Let's begin the journey to becoming more disciplined, the Japanese way. Rule 1. Kaizen, the power of small improvements. Have you ever made a big plan and then given up after a few days? Maybe you told yourself, "This time, I will study English for 2 hours every day." But after 3 days, you felt tired and stopped. You are not alone. Many people do this. We often dream too big and try to change everything at once. But when life gets busy or hard, those big goals start to feel impossible. In Japan, there is a very different way of thinking about improvement. It is called Kaizen. This word means continuous improvement. Small, positive changes that you make every day. The idea is simple but powerful. If you improve just a little every day, those small steps will become something great over time. Instead of doing everything at once, you focus on doing one small thing better today than you did yesterday. Let's look at an example. Imagine you want to learn English. You could try to memorize 100 words in one day, but the next day, you'll forget most of them and feel frustrated. Instead, you could use the Kaizen method. Learn only 5 new words a day. That sounds small, right? But think about it. In 1 month, that's 150 new words. In 1 year, that's 1,800 words. That's how Kaizen works. Slow, steady, and strong. Kaizen is not just about language learning. It can be used for anything: fitness, work, or personal goals. Japanese companies like Toyota became world leaders because of Kaizen. Every worker was encouraged to make small improvements to their daily work. Over time, these small improvements built one of the most efficient companies in the world. The same idea can help you build your personal success. Let's think about how small changes can make a big difference. Imagine a man named Ken. He wanted to become better at speaking English, but he was busy with work. He always told himself, "I'll start when I have more time." But that more time never came. One day, Ken learned about Kaizen. So he made a new rule for himself. Just 10 minutes of English practice every night before bed. No excuses. At first, it didn't feel like much. But after a month, he noticed something. His listening got better. He could understand short conversations in movies. 6 months later, he could hold simple conversations with his foreign friends. All because of those small daily steps. This is the secret of Kaizen. It removes fear. When goals are small, you don't feel stressed or scared. You can do them easily. That small success gives you confidence, and confidence gives you energy to do a little more next time. Slowly, you build a habit that stays with you forever. There is also a psychological reason why Kaizen works. When we set very big goals, our brain feels danger. It thinks, "This is too hard. Let's avoid it." That's why we procrastinate. We avoid difficult things because they feel scary. But when we make the goal small and easy, our brain feels safe and happy. It gives us a little reward called dopamine, the chemical that makes us feel good when we finish something. That's why small wins are so powerful. They create a positive cycle. Small step, small win, good feeling, more action. So how can you use Kaizen in your English learning or daily life? Here are some simple ways. 1. Start with 5 minutes a day. Don't wait for a perfect time. Just take 5 minutes to study or read in English. 2. Focus on one skill at a time. Maybe today you listen to a podcast. Tomorrow, you write one short paragraph. Step by step. 3. Celebrate every small win. After studying for 15 minutes, say, Good job. Reward yourself with a smile or a short break. 4. Keep a small notebook. Write one new word or idea you learned each day. At the end of the week, look back and see your progress. 5. Stay patient. Progress is slow but steady. Remember, Kaizen is about the journey, not speed. Here's a simple challenge for you. Starting today, pick one small action that will make your life better. Maybe it's learning 5 English words, reading one paragraph in English, or practicing pronunciation for just 5 minutes. Do it every day for 7 days. You'll see how easy it feels and how proud you become. Before Kaizen, life often feels like a race. We rush, we push, and we get tired. After Kaizen, life feels calm but powerful. You move slowly, but you never stop. You start to enjoy the process instead of worrying about the result. The truth is, big success is not built in one day. It is built in many small, quiet moments, moments when no one is watching, but you keep going. That is what Kaizen teaches us. You don't have to do everything today. You just have to do something small, something kind, something better. So take a moment and think, what is one small improvement you can make today? It doesn't have to be big, just one step, because one small step every day can change your life forever. That is the power of Kaizen, the power of small improvements. Rule 2. Shokunin Spirit. Taking pride in your craft. Have you ever watched someone who does their job with love and care? Maybe it was a chef preparing food, a gardener shaping trees, or a teacher explaining something with patience. When people work with pride, you can feel it. Their actions are calm, careful, and beautiful. In Japan, this deep love for doing something well is called Shokunin Spirit. The word shokunin means craftsman or artisan. But it's more than just a job title. It is a way of thinking, a promise to always give your best, no matter how small the task is. A true shokunin does not work only for money or fame. They work because they want to honor their craft. They believe that every action is a chance to create something meaningful. Let's think about the difference between someone who just wants to finish quickly and someone who has the Shokunin spirit. Imagine 2 people learning English. The first person says, "I just want to finish my lesson and get it over with." They rush, skip practice, and feel bored. The second person says, "I want to speak English clearly and beautifully." They listen carefully, repeat words slowly, and pay attention to every sound. After some time, who do you think will improve more? The one with the Shokunin spirit, the one who takes pride in learning. In Japan, you can see the Shokunin spirit everywhere. A sushi chef may spend years learning how to cut fish perfectly. A calligraphy master may practice one stroke hundreds of times until it feels just right. Even a street cleaner may sweep the road with care and respect. These people don't say, "That's good enough." They say, "I can make it better." They don't rush. They don't complain. They find joy in doing their best. There is a famous Japanese carpenter who said, "When I build a house, I make the hidden parts perfect, even if no one will ever see them." Why? Because he knows that true quality is not about showing off. It's about doing your best because it feels right inside. That's the heart of Shokunin. Now, think about how this idea can help you with your English. Many learners say, "I just want to speak quickly," or "I don't care about grammar. I just want to pass the test." But if you only chase speed or results, you will miss something important: growth. Instead, Try to bring the Shokunin spirit into your study. When you read, read with attention. When you speak, speak with care. When you write, write beautifully, even if it's a short message. Each small action shows your respect for learning. For example, you can focus on pronunciation. Repeat one sentence slowly until it sounds clear. You might feel it takes too long, but every small detail matters. Over time, you will speak more confidently and sound more natural. That's how mastery is built, not in one big step, but in many careful, loving ones. Here's a simple story to show this. Aya was a young woman who wanted to learn English quickly to get a new job. She studied fast and finished many lessons, but she didn't feel confident speaking. One day, her teacher told her about the Shokunin Spirit. Aya decided to slow down. She started to practice one thing deeply: pronunciation. Every day, she repeated short English phrases while recording herself. She listened, noticed her mistakes, and tried again. After 6 months, her voice changed. Her speech was clear, calm, and confident. She didn't just learn English, she mastered her craft. That's what happens when you take pride in what you do. You stop worrying about being perfect right away. You focus on improving the details. You feel joy in learning, not stress. And that joy gives you confidence. When you have the Shokunin spirit, you also develop self-respect. You stop comparing yourself to others because your goal is not to be better than them. It's to be better than yesterday. You start feeling proud of your work, even if no one notices. You become someone who values quality over speed, progress over perfection. So, how can you practice this spirit every day? Here are some ideas. 1. Do one thing with full attention. Whether it's writing an email, cooking, or studying, give your best effort. 2. Focus on quality, not speed. It's better to do one thing well than many things poorly. 3. Respect your tools. Keep your study materials clean and organized. Treat your notebook, pen, and books with care. 4. Reflect daily. Ask yourself, did I do my best today? If yes, feel proud. If not, tomorrow is a new chance. 5. Learn from mistakes. A true shokunin is never afraid of failure. Each mistake is a step toward mastery. Before you rush through your next lesson, remember this. Discipline is not about finishing fast. It's about building skill, step by step. When you study with pride, you turn simple actions into meaningful practice. In the end, the Shokunin spirit is not only for artists or workers. It is for everyone, for students, parents, and dreamers. It teaches us to care deeply about what we do, no matter how small. It reminds us that excellence is not a destination. It's a habit. So, as you continue your journey of learning English, remember this simple message. Don't aim to be fast. Aim to be better every day. Because when you take pride in your work, every word you speak, every page you read, and every small effort you make becomes a part of something beautiful, your own masterpiece. Rule 3. Gaman. Patience and endurance. Have you ever felt frustrated because things were not moving fast enough? Maybe you studied English for weeks but still couldn't understand native speakers. Maybe you tried to speak but made mistakes and felt embarrassed. You worked hard, but progress felt slow. That feeling is common. We live in a world that wants fast results. We want quick success, quick money, quick learning. But real success doesn't come quickly. It takes something deeper. Gaman. In Japan, gaman means patience, endurance, and inner strength. It's the quiet power to keep going even when things are difficult. It's about staying calm when you want to give up. The Japanese believe that life always has hard moments, but the way we face them shows who we are. Gaman is not just waiting, it's waiting with grace. It's suffering without complaining and staying strong with a peaceful heart. Let's imagine two different students. The first one wants fast results. He studies English for 2 weeks and expects to speak like a native. When he fails, he feels angry and stops studying. The second student practices slowly. She knows it will take time. She doesn't compare herself to others. Every day, she studies a little, listens carefully, and repeats words patiently. After a few months, she can express herself clearly. Why? Because she practiced Gaman, the art of patience. Japan has a long tradition of teaching patience. In martial arts, students sometimes train for years before earning a black belt. In tea ceremonies, hosts spend hours preparing just 1 cup of tea perfectly. These traditions show that patience is not weakness, it's strength. Gaman teaches people to control their emotions and stay calm even in difficulty. Let's look at a story to understand this better. Aya was a university student studying English for her dream job. She studied hard for months to pass an English speaking test. When the results came, she failed. She felt terrible. For a week, she didn't want to open her books. But one day, she remembered something her Japanese grandmother used to say, "Gaman suru," be patient and endure. Aya decided to try again. This time, she didn't rush. She listened to English podcasts every morning, even for just 10 minutes. She practiced speaking to herself in the mirror. She didn't expect quick results, but she promised herself to keep going. 6 months later, she took the test again. This time, she passed with confidence. When her teacher asked what changed, Aya smiled and said, "I learned Gaman." This is the power of patience. It may not give you results today or tomorrow, but it gives you something more important: progress that lasts. When you learn a new language, patience is everything. Sometimes you will feel like nothing is working. You'll forget words. You'll make the same mistake again and again. But remember, every mistake is part of learning. Every slow step is still a step forward. Gaman teaches you to accept the journey, not to fight it. So how can you build this kind of patience in your own life? Here are some simple ideas you can start today. 1. Track your small wins. Write down what you did each day. Maybe you learned 5 new words or listened to 1 English video. When you see your progress on paper, you'll realize how much you're improving, even slowly. 2. Reward your effort, not just results. Did you study for 15 minutes today? Great! Treat yourself to a small reward, maybe your favorite snack or a short break. Be proud of your effort, not just your score. 3. Avoid comparison. Everyone learns at a different speed. Some people improve fast, others take time. That's okay. Your journey is yours. Comparing yourself to others only brings stress. 4. Remember why you started. When you feel tired, think about your dream. Maybe it's to travel, work abroad, or make friends in English. Keep that dream in your heart. It will help you stay strong. 5. Breathe and relax. When you get frustrated, stop for a moment. Take a deep breath. Remind yourself, it's okay to go slow. I am still moving forward. Gaman is not only for studying, it helps in every part of life. When work is hard, When relationships are difficult, or when the future feels uncertain, Gaman gives you peace. It teaches you to keep moving, to stay patient, and to believe that your efforts will bring results in time. Think about a tree. When it's planted, it doesn't grow overnight. It takes time for the roots to go deep. You can't see the growth at first, but it's happening under the soil. Then one day, the tree becomes tall and strong. Learning English and building discipline is the same. You might not see results right away, but every small effort strengthens your roots. In today's fast world, many people give up too soon. They forget that patience is part of success. But the Japanese understand this truth. Beauty grows slowly. Mastery takes time. Every small act of endurance builds your character and your strength. So next time you feel tired or impatient, remember Gaman. Remember Aya's story. Remember the tree. Tell yourself, I don't need to be fast. I just need to keep going. Because real strength is not about speed. It's about staying calm in the storm and continuing your journey with faith. Patience is not waiting for life to get easier. It's becoming stronger inside. That's what Gaman teaches us, and that's what will make you not only a better learner, but also a stronger person. Rule 4. Osoji, the discipline of cleanliness and order. Have you ever noticed how a clean room can change your mood? When your desk is messy, your mind feels heavy. But when everything is in its place, suddenly you can think clearly again. This simple truth lies at the heart of a beautiful Japanese practice called Osoji, the discipline of cleanliness and order. In Japan, Osoji is more than just cleaning. It's a way of purifying your environment and your mind. The word Osoji literally means big cleaning, and it usually happens at the end of the year when families clean every corner of their homes to welcome the new year with fresh energy. But Osoji is not limited to one day. It's a mindset, a habit of keeping your surroundings organized so that your spirit can stay peaceful and focused. When your space is clean, your thoughts become clear. When your surroundings are messy, your mind becomes restless. Modern life is full of distractions. Phones buzzing, cluttered desks, too many tabs open on your computer, and unfinished tasks everywhere. Without realizing it, all this noise makes it harder to concentrate and learn. Imagine trying to study English at a messy desk. Books piled up, empty coffee cups, papers scattered, and notifications flashing on your screen. Even before you start studying, your brain feels tired. But now imagine sitting at a clean desk. Your notebook, pen, and laptop are neatly arranged. There's space to breathe. A cup of tea beside you. The air feels calm. Which version do you think will help you learn better? Osoji teaches that the outer world and inner world are deeply connected. A messy room often reflects a messy mind. When you clean your surroundings, you also clean your thoughts. You remove confusion, stress, and worry, just like sweeping away dust. Let's look at how this idea connects to learning English. When you organize your study space, you tell your mind, this is a place of focus. You create a special zone for learning. When you keep your notes tidy and your files in order, you save time and reduce stress. You know exactly where to find what you need. And when you keep your mind clean, free from negative thoughts like, I can't do this, you give yourself the mental space to grow. There's a story about a young student named Kenji. He was passionate about learning English, but always struggled to stay focused. His desk was covered with papers, snacks, and random notes. His phone constantly distracted him. Every time he sat down to study, he felt tired and unmotivated. One day, his English teacher gave him a simple challenge. Before you study, spend 10 minutes cleaning your desk. Kenji thought it sounded too easy, but he tried it anyway. He threw away old papers, arranged his notebooks, and put his phone away. When he sat down again, something felt different. The air around him was calm. He opened his English book and, for the first time in weeks, studied without distraction. From that day on, he made it a habit. 10 minutes of cleaning before studying. In 1 month, he noticed a big change in his focus and confidence. That's the secret of Osoji. Small, consistent acts of cleaning can transform your energy and mindset. Here are a few ways you can bring Osoji into your daily life and your English learning journey. 1. Do a 10-minute cleanup every day. Before studying or going to bed, take 10 minutes to clean your space. Wipe your desk, arrange your books, and throw away what you don't need. A little effort each day keeps your environment calm and ready for focus. 2. Organize your digital space. Your phone and computer can also get cluttered. Delete old files, organize your English materials into folders, and remove apps you don't use. A clean digital space helps your brain stay focused instead of distracted. 3. Keep your notes tidy and simple. Use one notebook or one app for English learning. Write clearly, highlight important phrases, and keep it neat. When your notes are organized, reviewing becomes easier and faster. 4. Journal your thoughts to clean your mind. Sometimes, our minds are full of worries about mistakes, slow progress, or self-doubt. Take 5 minutes each day to write your thoughts in a journal. You don't need perfect English. Just write how you feel. This is mental cleaning. It helps remove emotional clutter. 5. Create a peaceful study corner. Choose one small space that's only for studying. Decorate it simply, maybe with a small plant or a candle. When you sit there, your brain will know it's time to focus. Osoji is not just about beauty or order, it's about respect. Respect for your space, your time, and your energy. When you take care of your environment, you also take care of yourself. The Japanese believe that everything around you has energy, even the objects you use daily. When you keep them clean and organized, you show gratitude for their purpose. In a deeper sense, Osoji is also emotional cleaning. Sometimes we hold on to negative thoughts, anger, jealousy, regret. These feelings clutter the heart. Osoji reminds us to let go of what no longer serves us. Just like cleaning your room, you can clean your mind by forgiving, by breathing, by starting again. If you want to succeed in learning English or in life, remember this: discipline doesn't always mean big actions. Sometimes, discipline is as simple as making your bed, wiping your desk, or organizing your thoughts. These small acts build a foundation of peace and clarity. When your environment is clean, your focus becomes sharper. When your focus is sharp, your progress becomes faster. Osoji teaches you to create the right conditions for growth, both outside and inside. So tonight, before you sleep, take a look around your room. What could you clean? Maybe it's your desk, your computer, or your mind. Remember, every time you clean something, you also clear space for new energy, new ideas, and new beginnings. Ask yourself this simple question: what could you clean today to clear your mind? Rule 5, Shu-Ha-Ri, the stages of mastery. In Japan, there is a powerful philosophy that explains how people master any skill, from martial arts to calligraphy, tea ceremony, or even speaking English. It's called Shu-Ha-Ri. These three simple words describe the journey from beginner to master. Each stage has its own purpose, its own lessons, and its own beauty. Shu means to follow the rules. Ha means to break the rules. Ri means to go beyond the rules. Let's explore what these mean and how they can guide your English learning journey. When you are a beginner, the Shu stage, your goal is to learn and respect the basics. You follow the rules carefully. You listen to your teacher. You repeat, practice, and copy good examples. In martial arts, this is when the student repeats the same moves again and again. It may feel boring sometimes, but this repetition builds strong habits and a strong foundation. In English learning, Shu means learning grammar correctly, pronouncing words carefully, and listening closely to how native speakers talk. You may not speak fast yet, but you're learning the right patterns. You might be repeating simple phrases like, "How are you?" or "I would like a cup of coffee, please." It may feel small, but it's important. Every master starts here. However, many learners make a mistake. They want to skip this stage. They want to sound fluent right away, to speak like a native speaker without building the foundation first. But skipping the basics is like trying to run before you can walk. It might look fast at first, but soon you'll fall. Imagine a child learning to draw. At first they trace shapes, copy lines, and learn how to hold the pencil. That's Shu. If they jump too quickly into complex drawings, they get frustrated. But if they practice slowly every day, they gain control. Later, they can draw anything from memory. Now let's move to the second stage, Ha, breaking the rules. After you've mastered the basics, you begin to experiment. You understand the rules so well that you can play with them. You start finding your own rhythm, your own way of expression. In this stage, you no longer copy exactly. You adapt. For English learners, Ha means starting to use the language naturally. Maybe you change sentence structures or play with vocabulary to make it sound more like your personality. You start to write your own stories, have real conversations, and express feelings in English, not just memorize lines. At this point, you might mix things up a little, and that's okay. Mistakes are part of creativity. You're no longer afraid of being wrong, because you understand that communication is more than perfection. It's connection. There's a story about a calligraphy student in Japan. At first, he spent years copying his master's brush strokes exactly. Every curve, every dot, every line had to be perfect. One day, his master said, "Now forget the form." The student was surprised. "Forget the form? But I worked so hard to copy it." The master smiled. "Because now it's inside you. You can make it your own." That is the moment of Ha. You are free because the foundation is strong. Finally, we reach Ri, to transcend the rules. This is the stage of mastery. You no longer think about the rules because they have become part of you. You speak English without translating in your head. You use grammar naturally. You can read, listen, and respond without fear. You've moved beyond just studying. You're living the language. At this level, English is not a subject anymore. It's a tool, a part of your identity. You think in English, dream in English, express emotions in English. You've transcended the need to follow. You now flow. But here's the most important lesson from Shu-Ha-Ri. You cannot reach Ri without first passing through Shu and Ha. Each stage builds on the one before it. There are no shortcuts. You can't jump ahead. You have to respect the process. Let's see how this philosophy looks in real life through a simple story. Aya was a young woman from Japan who wanted to learn English to travel abroad. At first, she wanted to speak fast and impress people, but when she tried, she often forgot words and felt embarrassed. Her teacher told her, "Start small, learn correctly first." Aya followed her advice. For 6 months, she focused on basics, grammar, pronunciation, and listening. She watched English shows with subtitles and repeated sentences carefully. That was her Shu stage. Later, she began to write short diary entries in English. She changed sentences to sound more natural. Sometimes she used slang or informal words she heard online. That was her Ha stage. After 2 years, Aya could travel easily, talk to new friends, and even think in English. She wasn't worried about mistakes anymore. She could express herself freely. That was Rai. Her secret? She didn't rush. She respected each stage of learning. If you're learning English today, remember, mastery doesn't mean speed. It means growth. And real growth takes time. When you respect the process, every small step counts. Here are 3 small reminders from Shu-Ha-Ri that can help you stay patient and confident. 1. Start with respect. In the Shu stage, your goal is to absorb knowledge. Follow your teacher's guidance, practice pronunciation carefully, and don't rush. Each correct repetition builds strength. 2. Experiment with courage. In the Ha stage, try speaking with new people. Write your own sentences. Play with words. Don't be afraid of mistakes. They are signs of learning. 3. Flow with confidence. In the Ri stage, let English be part of your life. Watch movies, read stories, and talk naturally. Focus on expressing yourself, not perfection. Each stage has its own joy. In Shu, you feel the excitement of learning something new. In Ha, you feel the freedom of creativity. In Ri, you feel the peace of mastery. So wherever you are now, embrace it fully. Don't wish to skip ahead. Every master once stood where you are, repeating, practicing, and learning slowly. Shu-Ha-Ri teaches us that real mastery is not a race. It's a dance, step by step, stage by stage, until the movement becomes part of who you are. So, keep going. Respect the process. Enjoy your stage. And remember, when you follow the path with patience and heart, you too will reach your Ri. Rule 6. Ikigai. Finding your purpose. Have you ever met someone who wakes up full of energy, excited to start the day? They move with purpose, they smile more, and they don't give up easily. You can feel that something inside them drives them, something strong and meaningful. In Japan, this powerful idea is called Ikigai, pronounced Ikigai. It means the reason for being, the reason you wake up every morning with motivation and joy. Everyone has an Ikigai. It's not always easy to find, but once you do, it gives your life direction. It helps you keep going even when things are hard. It's like a quiet fire in your heart that keeps you warm, even on cold days. In Japanese culture, Ikigai is not just about big dreams like becoming rich or famous. It's about meaning, doing something that gives you satisfaction and makes your life feel valuable. For some people, it's caring for their family. For others, it's doing a job they love, helping others, or creating something beautiful. So, What does Ikigai have to do with learning English? Everything. Think about this. Why do you want to learn English? Many people say, because it's useful, or because everyone speaks it. That's true, but it's not enough to stay motivated. Without a strong reason, studying feels like a chore. You get tired, distracted, or bored. You start and stop many times. You might even tell yourself, I'm just not good at languages. But when you find your Ikigai for learning English, everything changes. Suddenly, English becomes exciting. You no longer study just for a test. You study for a dream. Let's look at two people, Mia and Ken. Mia studies English because her teacher told her to. She memorizes vocabulary, but she doesn't feel connected to it. She studies one day, skips the next. She often says, I'll do it later. Learning feels heavy, like a duty. Ken, on the other hand, has a dream. He wants to travel to Australia and work with people from different countries. He imagines himself speaking English fluently with confidence. Every time he learns a new word, he feels closer to that dream. For him, studying is not just studying. It's building his future. Who do you think will stay motivated longer? Of course, Ken will, because he has found his Ikigai. That's the power of purpose. It turns discipline from something you have to do into something you want to do. Here's the secret. When you know why, you will always find the how. If your reason is strong, you don't need to push yourself. Your Ikigai pulls you forward. You'll wake up and say, yes, today I'll study, because it takes me one step closer to my dream. Now, let's find your Ikigai. In Japan, people often find it by asking themselves 4 questions. 1. What do I love? What activities make me happy or excited? 2. What am I good at? What skills or talents come naturally to me? 3. What does the world need? How can my skills help others? 4. What can I be paid for or valued for? Your Ikigai is often at the center of these 4 answers, where passion, skill, service, and value meet. But for English learners, we can make it even simpler. Try asking yourself, why do I want to speak English? What will English help me do or feel? How will my life change when I can communicate freely? Maybe your answer is, I want to travel and talk to people from other countries, or I want to get a better job and help my family, or I want to understand songs, movies, and ideas in English. Whatever your answer is, hold it close. That's your Ikigai, your personal reason for learning English. Let's look at a real-life story. There was a man named Ryo who worked in a small restaurant in Tokyo. He always dreamed of opening his own cafe and meeting people from around the world. But he didn't speak English. For years, he thought it was too late to start learning. One day, a tourist asked him for directions, and he couldn't help. He felt sad and embarrassed. That night, he made a promise. I will learn English, not just for business, but to connect with people. From that day, he studied a little every morning before work. He learned phrases like, "How are you?" and "Would you like some coffee?" He started practicing with foreign customers who came in. They smiled, encouraged him, and soon he could have simple conversations. A few years later, he opened his own cafe called Friends Corner. Now, people from all over the world visit him. He speaks with them, laughs with them, and even learns about their cultures. English opened his world. And it all began with Ikigai. Ryo's purpose wasn't just to learn a language. It was to connect hearts through coffee, and conversation. That purpose gave him strength every single day. So, how can you apply this in your life? Here are 3 small steps to help you discover and use your Ikigai for English learning. 1. Write down your reason. Take a notebook and finish this sentence. I'm learning English because... Write from your heart. Don't worry if it sounds simple. Even a short reason can be powerful if it's true. 2. Visualize your dream. Close your eyes and imagine your future self, speaking English fluently, traveling, or helping others. Feel that emotion. That feeling is your motivation fuel. 3. Remind yourself daily. Each morning, read your reason out loud. Say, "This is why I'm learning English." When you feel lazy, look at it again. Let it remind you of your goal. Remember, people who study without purpose often give up when things get hard. But people with Ikigai keep going, even when it's difficult, because they know it's worth it. So take a deep breath and ask yourself, why are you learning English? When you find your answer, you'll feel something change inside you. You'll stop asking, "Do I have time to study?" and start saying, "I'll make time because this matters to me." Ikigai is not about working harder. It's about working with heart. When you have a reason that makes you smile, discipline becomes easy, almost natural. So, find your reason, write it, feel it, live it. Because once you discover your Ikigai, every English word you learn will bring you closer to the life you truly want. Rule 7. Seiketsu Seiton, consistency and order in daily habits. Have you ever noticed how peaceful it feels to walk into a clean, organized space where everything has its place and nothing feels chaotic? In Japan, this calm order is not just a matter of cleanliness, it's a way of life. 2 powerful Japanese words describe this: Seiketsu and Seiton. Seiketsu means standardization, keeping good habits and routines the same every day. Seiton means order, putting everything in its proper place so your mind can stay clear. These 2 principles come from a famous Japanese system called the 5S method, which helps people work more efficiently and live more peacefully. But they don't only apply to factories or offices, they can also help you build a strong, focused, and disciplined life, especially when it comes to learning English. Let's start with a simple truth. Most people fail not because they're lazy, but because they're inconsistent. One day they study hard, the next they skip it. One week they feel motivated, the next they lose focus. This up and down pattern creates frustration and guilt. You might say, "I'll study for 2 hours every day," but after a few days you stop. The routine breaks. Then you start again, stop again, and nothing changes. Now imagine another person who studies for only 15 minutes every day, but never misses a day. They don't need to push themselves hard because it's just part of their daily rhythm. Over time, that small routine becomes powerful. After 1 month, they've built a strong habit. After 1 year, they've mastered something amazing. That's the spirit of Seiketsu, creating a steady rhythm in your life so progress becomes automatic. When you build consistency, you no longer rely on motivation. You rely on your system. Motivation is like a spark. It burns bright, but fades quickly. Systems are like a steady flame. They keep going quietly, day after day. Here's an example. Hiroshi was a student who wanted to improve his English listening skills. He tried watching English shows for 2 hours every weekend, but he always forgot by the next week. One day, his teacher suggested a new plan. Just listen for 10 minutes every morning while you eat breakfast. It sounded too easy, but he tried it. After 1 month, he noticed his ears were getting used to English sounds. After 3 months, he could understand short sentences without subtitles. After 6 months, listening to English became part of his routine, like brushing his teeth. That's Seiketsu in action. Small, repeated habits that slowly shape your identity. You don't force them anymore. They become who you are. Now let's look at Seiton, the discipline of order. Seiton is about creating structure and clarity in your physical and mental space. In Japanese workplaces, people organize tools so everything is easy to find. Nothing is wasted, no time, no energy. In the same way, when your study space or daily routine is organized, your mind feels lighter and clearer. Think about your English study area. Is it clean or messy? Are your books and notes easy to reach, or do you waste time looking for them? Every small piece of disorder creates stress and distraction, but when your desk is clean, your mind is calm. You can focus better. The same is true for your digital space. Too many files, notifications, or apps can clutter your mind. Try organizing your English materials into folders, one for vocabulary, one for listening, one for writing practice. This simple order helps your brain stay focused. You can even apply Seiton to your time. Create specific time blocks for study. For example, every morning at 7:30, I practice English for 20 minutes. When you follow this routine, you train your brain to enter study mode automatically. Let's look at a contrast to understand how powerful this can be. Aya studies English randomly, sometimes in the morning, sometimes late at night, sometimes for 10 minutes, sometimes for 2 hours. Her books are on the bed, the table, and the floor. Every day, she thinks, when should I study? That decision alone tires her out. Then there's Daniel. He studies at the same time every day, 7 p.m. after dinner. His desk is clean. His notebook, pen, and dictionary are ready. He knows what to review, what to practice, and how long to study. There's no confusion, no stress. Because of that, Daniel progresses faster, even though he studies less time overall. Why? Because discipline is not about force, it's about rhythm. When you repeat small, organized actions daily, they create a rhythm that guides your life. You stop fighting against yourself. You flow with your habits instead of forcing them. Think of it like music. One note is not much, but when you play it regularly, it becomes a melody. That's what Seiketsu and Seiton do. They turn your daily actions into a song of success. Here are a few practical steps to bring these 2 rules into your daily life. 1. Create a study routine that fits your lifestyle. Choose a time that feels natural, morning, lunch, or evening, and keep it the same every day. Even 15 minutes is enough if it's consistent. 2. Keep your space clean and organized. Before you start studying, spend 1 minute clearing your desk. When you finish, put things back in their place. A clean space supports a clean mind. 3. Use a checklist or study tracker. Write down small tasks like review vocabulary, listen to 1 podcast, or practice speaking for 5 minutes. Check them off daily. This simple order builds confidence and motivation. 4. Declutter your digital life. Remove distractions from your phone. Keep only 1 or 2 learning apps you really use. Delete unnecessary tabs or files. 5. Reflect weekly. Every weekend, ask yourself, did I keep my rhythm? If yes, celebrate. If no, reset gently. The goal is not perfection. It's steady improvement. Remember, Seiketsu and Seiton are not just about organization. They are about respect. Respect for your time, your effort, and your growth. When you treat your habits with care and order, your life becomes calmer and more focused. You will start to notice something beautiful. The more consistent and organized your environment becomes, the easier it is to stay disciplined in everything you do, from learning English to caring for your health or managing your goals. So today, take one small action. Clean your study space, choose your study time, prepare your materials, begin your rhythm. Because discipline is not about being strong every day. It's about creating systems that carry you forward, even when you feel weak. When your life has order and rhythm, discipline becomes natural. That is the secret of Seiketsu and Seiton. When you live with consistency and order, success doesn't feel forced anymore. It feels like harmony. The hidden rule, Hansei, self-reflection for growth. Have you ever finished a task and thought, I did well, I don't need to improve? Or maybe you made a mistake and quickly moved on without thinking about what went wrong. In Japan, there is a powerful principle called Hansei that teaches the opposite. Hansei means self-reflection, looking honestly at your actions, learning from them, and seeking continuous improvement. Hansei is not about criticizing yourself or feeling bad. It is about being humble and aware. It is about asking, what can I do better next time? People who practice Hansei understand that there is always room to grow, no matter how skilled they are. In contrast, arrogance, thinking, I already know enough, blocks progress. You stop learning. You stop improving. In Japanese schools, students are encouraged to reflect after every project. They ask themselves what went well, what didn't, and how they can do better next time. Similarly, Japanese companies often hold review meetings after finishing a project, not to blame anyone, but to improve for the future. This habit of reflection helps people grow faster than just working hard blindly. Let's see how this applies to learning English. Imagine two learners, Sarah and Tom. Sarah studies every day but never looks back. She memorizes words, completes exercises, and moves on. She thinks, I am learning enough. Over time, she notices that she still struggles with speaking. Her progress slows because she never reflects on her mistakes. Tom, however, practices Hansei. After studying, he asks, which words did I forget today? Which sentences were difficult to say? How can I remember them tomorrow? He writes his answers in a notebook. He also records himself speaking and listens back. By noticing mistakes and adjusting, Tom improves faster and gains confidence. Hansei is a tool that turns mistakes into lessons. Every error becomes a stepping stone, not a reason to feel discouraged. It teaches patience and self-awareness. Here are a few simple ways to practice Hansei in your English learning. 1. End-of-day reflection. Spend 5 minutes writing what you learned and what was difficult. Ask yourself, what went well today? What can I do better tomorrow? This small habit creates awareness and helps you improve steadily. 2. Self-recording. Record yourself speaking English. Listen to it carefully. Notice pronunciation mistakes, grammar errors, or unclear words. Each time you reflect, your speech becomes clearer and more confident. 3rd weekly review. At the end of the week, review your notes, vocabulary lists, or journal entries. Identify patterns in your mistakes. Are there words you keep forgetting? Are certain grammar points always confusing? This review guides your focus for the next week. 4. Ask for feedback. Sometimes, others notice mistakes we can't see. Ask a teacher, friend, or language partner for constructive feedback. Then reflect on it honestly, not with shame, but with curiosity and openness. Hansei is also about humility. Humility doesn't mean thinking you are weak. It means accepting that learning is a lifelong journey. No matter how much you know, there is always room to grow. In Japanese culture, humility is admired because it opens the door to knowledge. Those who are humble are also open-minded, willing to adapt, and ready to improve. Think about a famous Japanese company like Toyota. They use Hansei after every project. Employees reflect on what went well, what went wrong, and how to do better next time. This habit of continuous self-improvement is part of why the company remains successful for decades. You can bring the same principle into your personal life and language learning. Every time you reflect, you gain control. You notice your strengths. You identify weaknesses. You create a plan to grow. Reflection makes your learning intentional, not random. Here's a simple exercise to start today. Take a notebook and divide a page into 3 sections: successes, mistakes, and next steps. Write one thing that went well today in English. Write one mistake or challenge you faced. Write one action you will take tomorrow to improve. Even doing this for just 5 minutes a day will change the way you learn. Over weeks, you will see patterns, understand yourself better, and gain confidence in your abilities. Remember, discipline is not only about action, it's also about reflection. Hansei teaches that the strongest learners are not the ones who never fail, but the ones who look back, notice, and improve. So, before you finish your study today, ask yourself, what did I learn? What mistakes can I learn from? How can I be better tomorrow? Hansei transforms learning from a task into a journey. Every reflection brings clarity. Every adjustment brings progress. When you practice Hansei consistently, growth becomes natural, and discipline becomes easier. Conclusion: becoming a modern samurai of discipline. Now that we have explored the 7 powerful Japanese rules of discipline, Kaizen, Shokunin Spirit, Gaman, Osoji, Shu-Ha-Ri, Ikigai, and Seiketsu Seiton, with the hidden power of Hansei, you have a complete roadmap for building a life of focus, calm, and growth. Each principle works like a stepping stone, guiding you from distraction and frustration toward clarity and mastery. Think about the old version of yourself. Perhaps you start tasks but get distracted easily. You set goals but quit when results don't appear quickly. You may feel overwhelmed, unmotivated, or uncertain about how to improve. This version struggles with consistency and often wishes progress would happen magically overnight. Now, imagine the new version of yourself, a modern samurai of discipline. You take small daily actions that build real, lasting progress. You take pride in your work and practice with care. You stay calm when challenges arise, enduring difficulty with patience. You keep your space and mind organized, making focus natural. You follow the stages of learning, respect the process, and gradually make your skills your own. You know your personal purpose, your Ikigai, and let it guide every effort. You create consistent routines and maintain order in your life. And most importantly, You reflect honestly, learn from mistakes, and adjust to grow continuously. Notice the contrast. Discipline is not about punishment or harsh self-control. Discipline is freedom. Freedom from chaos, from wasted time, from frustration. It is the ability to act with clarity, focus, and confidence. When you follow these principles, life becomes less about reacting and more about creating. You gain control over your habits, your mind, and your goals. You gain confidence that grows quietly but powerfully, day by day. Let's quickly remember each rule as a tool you can apply. 1. Kaizen. Take small, consistent steps to improve every day. 2. Shokunin Spirit. Take pride in your work, aiming for excellence, not just speed. 3. Gaman. Practice patience and perseverance, knowing growth takes time. 4. Osoji. Keep your space and mind clean to maintain focus and clarity. 5. Shu-Ha-Ri. Respect the learning process. Follow, adapt, and transcend the rules. 6. Ikigai. Find your personal purpose. Let it fuel your motivation naturally. 7. Seiketsu Seiton. Build consistent routines and organized habits that make progress automatic. 8. Hansei. Reflect regularly to notice mistakes, learn, and improve continuously. These principles are not just for Japanese people or martial artists. They are for anyone who wants to live a disciplined, balanced, and meaningful life. You don't need extraordinary talent. You don't need a perfect schedule. You just need to start. One small step every single day. Here's a simple way to begin. Take a moment to reflect. Which rule speaks to you the most right now? Write it down. Decide on one small action you can take today to apply it. Maybe it's studying 5 new English words, Kaizen, organizing your desk, Osoji, or reflecting on today's mistakes, Hansei. Remember, transformation does not happen in a single day. It happens quietly, steadily, like a river carving a canyon. With patience, consistency, and purpose, you too can become a modern samurai of discipline, calm, focused, and in control of your life. So, take your first step today. Reflect. Take notes. Choose one rule, apply it, and then keep moving forward, one small, meaningful step at a time. The journey is yours, and every step builds the life you dream of. Discipline is not a burden. It is a gift, a way to live with freedom, clarity, and purpose. And it starts now.